Hello, this is Professor Bustillo-Booth, and welcome. I hope you've had a chance to relax over the break and enjoy good company, and that you are ready to go for the next weeks of our class. In the next few minutes, I will go over the required text that you will need for the class, and then walk you through the two learning management platforms that we'll be using, Canvas and Connect, and particularly walk you through the registration process for the required text. And then lastly, I will show you the organization and structure of the class using one of my classes as an example. First, let's discuss the required text for the course. Some of you may be asking whether or not you can use an older version, a used book, or the same ISBN that you may have purchased from someone for the required text. The answer to that is that no. You must get a new book with a new code, a new unused code, in order to access the online learning activities that's connected to the book. The reason for that is that an old version will not work. It just will not work for this class. And then also a used code will have already expired and will not allow you to enter the Connect activities that are required for this course. And you will have at least two different ways to access the book. One is through the Pierce College bookstore, and then also through the Connect registration process, where you can purchase the code as well as the ebook. And I believe that is going to be less expensive than just getting the hard copy. Now, for those of you who also want to get the hard copy, you have that option after you purchase the code and the ebook. And the system will just alert you with that option once you've completed that process. And I believe McGraw-Hill will ship that book to you for free of charge, and it does take at least 2 weeks to get the book to you. Now, if you are not ready to purchase the book, you may choose the third option, which is a free 14-day trial period. And I encourage you to go ahead and do that so that you have access to all the learning activities and can get credit for all the work that you've done, as those points will migrate over to Canvas. And I will go ahead and walk you through that process here in a moment. For the second segment of the video, I will walk you through how to access Canvas and then also how to register to Connect. There are probably many ways for you to access Canvas. If you're already familiar with that, you will probably have your ways already. However, one of the easiest ways to access Canvas is through the Pierce College homepage. And you will see here up the top, it says Canvas, and you will click that, and you will be presented with the login portal. Here, you will enter your username, which is your student ID. I'll go ahead and do that now. And then as well as enter your password. And then, of course, you will log in. For this segment of the tutorial, I will use one of my classes as an example on how to register for Connect. I will also be using this class as an example for all of my classes to demonstrate the organization and flow. First, let's talk about the Connect registration process. And how you do that is you would click the modules. And then before you click anything else, here I'd go to Connect, you'll want to read the instructions in full. It is a slide deck that will have the steps laid out for you, and I will just quickly go over it here with you now. So you will, of course, log into Canvas, go to your Canvas shell, you'll go to Modules and go to Connect, and then you will click something that looks like MH Campus, and then you will load MH Campus, a new window. You will then be presented for the book specific to the class. For this class, it is, business by Farrell. For your other class, for another class, it will be different. And then you will simply go through the registration process and then establish an account, for example, and then you'll complete the other information you will need in order to access the Connect platform. And then you will have this area where you can choose to enter an access code that you may already have, so you can submit that, or you can purchase the Connect online. So, have your credit card ready and you can get that online, and you can get the code as well as access to the ebook by this route. And after you have purchased the code and the ebook, you will then be prompted with the option to also buy the hard copy. That is a separate step, so look out for that if you choose to also have the hard copy. If you are not yet ready to purchase the book, then you go ahead and click the courtesy access, which is a 14-day trial period. It will allow you to access all of the learning activities and be graded for those activities, and all those grade points will migrate over to Canvas. So you'll want to do that immediately. And before the 14-day trial period ends, you'll want to make sure that you will have purchased the code so you continue to have access to all the learning materials for the rest of the course. Once you have successfully registered to Connect, you will then have access to all of the learning materials that will be required for this class. So you should see something similar to this, and these are arranged by weeks. And you can uncollapse each of these accordions by clicking on the button. And you can see here the learning activities that you will need to complete. And I'll just click on some of them so you can see what they're like. And I encourage you to go ahead and uncollapse each one of these so you understand what is coming up. And you can see that there are different due dates, obviously, and also different access times for when you can begin working on each of these assignments. And you'll see that the assignments are generally open for at least 3 weeks before they are due. And the reason why I don't open all of them all at once is because we are going to try to prevent cherry picking and doing the assignments or getting too far ahead of the class, because you will not be able to retain the information and you may get lost. And so I discussed that in full in the syllabus. So please go ahead and take a look at that to understand why certain weeks are not open, or all of the weeks are not open all of the time. So make sure you read that. Now we'll continue on to the third segment of this video, which is to walk you back to Canvas and discuss the organization and flow of class. Modules is your best friend and where all of your activities are going to be housed and your access points. And so you became familiar with GoToConnect here, so the registration process, and it's also your portal into the class assignments. There are many ways to get there, and at least 2 ways to get there, and one of which is through the MH Connect registration process. And then after that, you can also click this to load Connect onto your screen. Or you can directly access the assignments through their individual notices within modules. Let me go ahead and uncollapse this or collapse it so that we can walk through the rest of the organization. So the class operates it within a set of routines, which I discuss in the home page. So let me go ahead and click that so we can have a map of what is to be expected on a weekly basis. And as you can see here, the learning activities have a certain rhythm to them, all right? And so here is a list of the activities on a weekly basis. So on Sundays, for example, there will always be a Connect, Learn, Smart due. That might be 1 or 2 chapters. And it is meant to help you recognize and comprehend information, ideas, and principles as a baseline for your understanding as we progress through the weeks. Then on Monday, you will have a chance to apply and distinguish or explain those ideas and principles through a Canvas discussion. And Canvas discussions have 2 deadlines. The first is on Monday, where you will post your initial response, all right? And then you will have until Wednesday to complete your 3 replies. Now, I've noted this elsewhere in the syllabus, but I'll just notice here again that Canvas does not allow for 2 deadlines within the same assignment. So the only deadline that will be noted on Canvas is the first one for the initial post because it represents the vast majority of the points for this particular activity. You will then need to have a system in place to remember to do the other 3 replies and to complete that by Wednesday, because at Thursday, 12:01 a.m., this assignment will close and it will not allow you to post your reply or anything else. Then on every Thursday will be the Connect Interactives. So you'll go back to Connect and you will complete interactive exercises there, which will continue to deepen your understanding of the ideas and concepts. So you will apply, construct, and demonstrate your understanding through that. So you're basically exercising higher orders of critical thinking as you progress through the week, beginning with developing of your vocabulary, understanding around ideas and principles, and then you'll progress on Monday and you begin to distinguish, explain, or demonstrate your understanding, on Monday through Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you will deepen that understanding even further. And then on Friday, you will take a quiz. You can take the quiz sooner if you'd like, but let me talk about that in a moment. But this is really designed for you to demonstrate retention of your key ideas and principles as discussed thus far in the course. So the quiz on Fridays, I just want to make sure this is clear, can be of any item that has been discussed in the current week as well as previous weeks. Now, the quiz will open sooner on Wednesday, so you will have 3 days to access your quiz. You'll have a one-time attempt on that, and it is 30 to 40 minutes depending on the quiz itself. Now, I caution you from taking the quiz before you have completed the Learn Smart, the discussion, or the interactive exercises. Because if you do so without having done this, you may find yourself not doing as well on the quiz. All right, because the quiz itself is a test of what it is you've come to learn for the week. So try not to get ahead of yourself. But I did open it up at Wednesday because some of you will be done before Wednesday, and you'll be ready to roll and would like to have your week sort of free Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, now we'll go back to modules and take a look at how these routines express themselves in our weekly modules. So you'll see here in week 2, which is really the beginning of our weekly routine, that at the top will be the read this first. And it will be like a map for the rest of the week. And it will discuss the purpose of the week, what you are expected to be learning there, why we're learning what we're learning, what we are learning, which is a list of the different outcomes that you will be expected to learn during the week. And they are organized around what's expected of you from the Peers College level, from the programmatic level, to the course level, and then the chapter level. All of these are linked and aligned. And then the activities that you are then expected to exercise in order to gain the skills and knowledge. And so here you will find then the routine. So remember that Learn Smart is due on Sunday, and this is the expected number of hours that you are expected to complete them. And again, this is an average, yours might be different. And then on Monday, Canvas discussion, with a Wednesday peer reply due, an interactive due on Thursday, and then there's a Connect quiz on Friday. Of course, you may start a little bit early if you'd like, if you've completed the rest of these activities earlier. And then for this particular week, there's a wrap-up video quiz. And again, this is an example for a different class. Your set of assignments may be different. All right. And then what you will then find is that the routine repeats itself week after week. So you'll find in week 3 that on Sunday, there are Learn Smarts that are due. On Monday, there's a Canvas that is due. And there might be another assignment that is non-weekly, but it will be listed here. But the weekly assignments will resume. So on Thursday, Connect Interactive is due. You may have an extra credit that you might want to take advantage of. And then other activities that are due that are not necessarily weekly, but that you can see there are weekly things that are due, like the quiz here. And as you go through each of the weeks, you'll find that, again, it repeats itself. Learn Smart is due on Sunday. Canvas discussion is due on Monday. interactive is due on Thursday, and the Connect quiz is due on Friday. And there might be other non-weekly items that you will want to look out for and make sure you complete. I hope that gives you a good sense of the logic and flow of the class. As you click through all the modules, you'll find that the routines repeat themselves week after week after week, and that is meant as a way for you to be able to plan and anticipate on what is expected. Of course, there are non-weekly activities, and you want to make sure that you're aware of them. Please be sure to log in daily so that you get my notices either by Canvas email or through the announcements or some other means. And also, I invite you to come and see me in Cascade 525 should you ever need my help. I want to help you. So come and see me during my office hours or make an appointment if the hours do not work out. That's listed there. I will do my best to make it work for you. Also, be sure to lean in on your work group. These are meant to be supportive and helpful, especially during the hours where I may not be able to get to you right away. So thank you so much for being in my class. I look forward to working with you and helping you learn a whole lot.